Alright, so uh we're gonna do it up. What is the movie that we gonna do this? The name of this is not Sugar Hill. What is the damn name of that movie? Paid in Full. Alright, we're gonna have to do this in pieces because I'm on the grind right now. I'm at work, so Mitch, Paid in Full. Mitch was a young kid coming up in Harlem, living in dormant conditions in the projects where, it wasn't easy to make money legally. All they had was like McDonald's jobs and stuff like that. You couldn't really get a job like that unless it was some bull crap job, and I mean, you had to have a burner if coming from work and going to work, and you couldn't be on no bus and on no train. It's that dangerous. And then coming home 11 get off at 10, come home at 11, walking through the projects with a switchblade. You know what I'm saying? And niggas be trying, and some goons try to rob you, some stick-up kids try to rob you, because you ain't in the game, you ain't strapped up. They take your money, So it was real dangerous. And at that time, that was the 90s. That was, the crack era was big in the early 90s, and it died down in the late 90s, and it went to weed, and that's a miracle that man Killer did. But it was Mitch and his homeboy, what's the other guy? The guy worked at the laundry man. Lucky. Mitch and Lucky was two good kids that was coming up in Harlem that wasn't even given a chance to live the American dream, just be good kids and go to school and go to college, get a job, and just be clean and, spotless. Wasn't even given it no chance. Okay. And you want to get out of them projects so bad. Them elevators are terrible. The security in the building is terrible. I mean, there's probably no security in there half the time. And it's like a zoo in Harlem in them projects. Okay. And so Mitch and Lucky, working at the laundromat, was kind of naive to the game. I mean, he knew about it, but he tried not to mess with it. In his younger days, he didn't get all into it because his plan was to go legal. Like me, I was like my head was up. I wanted to go legal. I try to be on the straight and narrow. A lot of niggas like that. They try to be on the straight and narrow. They got the game right there. They could be rich off of crack or cocaine or whatever, or heroin early when they 14, but they stray away from that because they know the consequences don't always come out too hot. So they're like, look, I'm not even going to go through all that. I'm not going through all that. I'm not doing no jail time and then, getting all shot up and stabbed up, for some street fame, you know. So a lot of niggas, they go out their way to keep a job or to hustle some other kind of way where they open some kind of business, and that has its pros and its cons, because although you kept your nose clean and you stayed out the game, now you don't know some shit about the ghetto. There's a lot of shit you don't know, but you're safe, and you know how to get money legal. Where vice versa, a straight up nigga who supposed to be a G, you know, that been selling drugs since they was 11 or 12, every day, all day, never tried to go on the straight and narrow. And they know a lot of shit. They know where to get the burners. They know where the stick-up kids is at. They know where to get heroin at. They know, you know, about connects out of state. They know who's trying to kill who. They know what cab drivers you can't trust. You know, they know a lot of stuff. So, you know, they say cab drivers know everything. But somebody who don't drive a cab don't know what a cab driver know. But the cab driver don't know what the person who's not driving the cab knows. It's just different roles in life. Everybody can't play the same role. Okay? There has to be the righteous and there has to be the unrighteous. So Mitch and Lucky, you know, Mitch kind of been messing with the game all along and knew how to bag up cocaine and knew how to cook it, and had made mistakes and cooked it wrong, put too much baking soda in, then the next time too much water, then the next time, you know, it just was not no good cocaine, then, you know, or it's the cocaine turned brown on you, you know, or it been sitting too long. See, all of that, Mitch didn't know nothing about that. I mean, Lucky didn't know nothing about the crack game, which that can hurt you being in the hood. So you have to have a perfect mixture, which is it's almost impossible to get that unless God put you in a dream to be great like that. So some niggas get lucky enough to get put in a dream where they know everything about thug life and the drug game and the gun game, and they know everything about the corporate world. They put on the suit and went to work and worked up in them buildings and messed with a typewriter and a computer and a dispatch, and they know how to get money legal. They know how to act. They know how to dress. They know how to talk. You know, you got niggas that change their whole way they talk when they go to work around those kind of people, but yet they're the straightest G'est nigga in the street. And a G is not a person who gives other people poison and kills people. That's not a G in my eyes. The world calls that a G, but that's not a G. Okay, that's a person who the devil has fooled. Okay, a G is a person who does the best they can to please God and Jesus, and you know, and that's that. I mean, if you try your best to work and stay out of trouble, but if you have to sell some drugs and stuff like that, then you do it, and then you take the little money, do it for a short period of time, take that money, open a business. That's all you got to do. But don't hold on to what's bad too long.